Single? Middle-aged? What the
The couch is different.
The couch, right? We're going to do a little bit
sun's
more
different.
conversational today. And just kick it.
Let's have some conversation.
Let's have some conversation. So,
cheers.
Cheers.
To
Cheers, Dolly.
Cheers, Dolly.
I'm so happy.
Martinis.
I know. So these are fresh watermelon martinis with a splash of lime and a splash of agave and a whole lot of vodka.
Super strong.
And super full.
I took my first sip and went, whoa, I have to drive home.
Not till later. I got you a really good parking spot.
Obviously, you did.
I'm making a
The
mess.
best parking spot.
Like, I'm already making a
Did
mess.
you feel?
Fuck, I do it every time. It's just inevitable.
Martini glasses are really hard to drink out of.
I know. Look how pretty they are.
They're beautiful, but they are so difficult to drink out of.
Oh God, I'm excited to catch up.
I know.
A lot going on with both of us. Holy crap.
A lot with you, but we were just talking. I honestly can't remember the last time that we got together, but I'm pretty sure it was after New Year's, and we were like, okay, we're gonna go for it again.
We're ready. Maybe we're not ready.
Oh, yikes.
But I feel like we are now. Like, I feel like
we should be.
The pandemic, it's coming to a close. Like, everything's opening back up.
Yes.
We're starting to get out where there's more to talk about. We have some other things going on in my business and your work and everything. There's just a lot sort of going on that's kind of exciting that I feel like we should be. And we got together for dinner last night and we were talking about some things going on last night, and it was awesome. That's why we were like, we need to talk about this on the podcast. So I don't know how you want to start with all this stuff, but I think talking about the pandemic being over, I think we should talk about dating first, because we talk about that a lot and we haven't been dating. There's no way that we're dating, and so if we're not dating, guess what? We're not having sex. We're not doing anything. And it's not even about sex. It's about making out. Like, we're not even having like a good makeout session or anything. I mean, there's just nothing happening.
Well, what did we establish last night? We're both like, so when's the last time you had sex?
It's been a long ass time.
Years. And when we thought about that, we were both shocked, like drop.
Yes,
shocked, it was 2 years.
Like that, because it's been so much time has gone by. Like for me, it's like I had a detached retina, so it's not like I'm going to go date with an eye patch. Unless he has a pirate fetish, which no.
Ooh, those are out there.
Those are probably out there.
Oh, they are.
Seriously, I was like, and then the pandemic happened. It was like impossible to date, and then we were talking about, we ran on your birthday. We ran into some people that, the last time we did have maybe a little bit of a makeout or whatever, we were just like, I kind of miss that. Right?
Those were fun days.
Those were fun times. But when it's been so long, I got a call. So I get a call last week from somebody from my past, and he says, meet me in Austin. I'll drive and meet you in Austin. You fly.
Drive from Arkansas.
Yeah, and
it's a 5-hour drive.
5-hour drive. I'm like, you're going to drive 5 hours to take me to dinner?
Up. He could charter a plane, so it's ridiculous.
Well, maybe he likes road trips.
By himself? Mm-hmm. Nobody likes that for 5 hours. From Arkansas?
I do. I drove from here to Alaska by myself.
It's pretty from here to Alaska.
That was 9 days.
It's a beautiful state. Oregon, Washington. That's a beautiful coastal. He's going from Arkansas to Oklahoma and then Texas?
I have no idea.
Like nothing. I know. I don't know my geographics in that middle area.
But I think you're right. I think
I'm pretty sure I'm close.
Yeah, you're pretty close. But I was saying to her, like, no, it's fine. I don't know. I mean, it's a situation that I shouldn't get myself into. But what did you say about what happens when it's been so long? We haven't been dating. What happens?
Well, you were saying you couldn't trust yourself.
No.
And so I said something about Well, memories and morals just went out the window like a bag of M&Ms. Peanuts included. And I just say peanuts, not peanuts. However, there is a little...
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't trust
memories and morals.
I don't trust myself with him.
I know you don't. So she wants me to go.
Yeah, so
she wants me to go and be part of the memories and moral loss.
No, I need
I'll
a
get
safety
thrown out the window
blanket.
like a bag of M&Ms
I
myself.
need a safety blanket. I need an excuse after dinner to go back to the hotel alone.
Oh, so blame it on Terry. Blame it on Dolly.
Okay, have you ever had that situation though where you know
I'm sure.
for sure that if you meet up with this person that you shouldn't be meeting up with, that you know the chemistry is off the chain, but it's still not a good idea, and you don't trust yourself. I know if I go meet him for dinner in Austin and I have a room there and he has a room there, somebody's room is going to be empty.
That's where I'll be. I'll be in the empty room. The intentions are really good. Terry and Michelle in this room. Mystery guest over here. But you all know what's going to happen. Michelle and mystery guest. Oh, M&M again. Terry's going to end up in the suite all by herself.
Okay, so what do you do in that situation? Just not go?
So let me just backtrack with, yes, I have been in those situations and I go every time.
Every time.
Who are we kidding?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if the chemistry's there, the sex is, it's all just awesome and great, and you can't, wait to see them just because. I mean, even if you didn't have sex, you would just love a conversation with him. I mean,
totally. I mean, this is somebody who
actually really enjoy
me rotten. We just.
But you enjoy him as.
And you know what? Not even as very much as a person, but I think he's the one person that I dated. He's one of a couple people that I've dated that really, really just got me. Does that make sense? He got
you from the moment he saw
you. From the moment he saw me, he knew how to handle me because I'm a bit extra. I'm a little extra. I might be a little bit of a live wire. I'm I need somebody who knows how to calm me down because I'm emotional and I'm passionate and I'm, you know what I mean? Sometimes I don't think before I speak. Guilty. And he just he always knew how to just, and he's polar opposite. He's very laid back. He's soft-spoken, but he's super masculine, but he's softer spoken. He doesn't talk a lot, and he just would let me just fly and do my own thing. Always.
But that's a good relationship. There can't be two stars.
No.
There has to be a star and then an audience. That's not really the right word, but I mean, you can only have one star. You can't have two stars because then you're always competing for time. But what's nice is I always feel safe in those situations when I know I can go way over here.
True.
And he will catch me or stop me when it gets dangerous.
True.
But I can totally go for it because I feel safe. You know, I know that person won't let me go completely sideways or crash down. But I can take it. I can push the limits.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right.
And I love that feeling. And that's what you have with him. You feel safe to be your wild, authentic, crazy, push the limit.
In terms of connecting with people, because I'm really I'm a total social butterfly. When I'm in a room, it's one of my superpowers. I feel like I'm one of those people that just I like to connect, and I like to network, and I'm very curious by nature. I'm such a curious person. I want to know about people, and I'm a videographer. So, I mean, for me, and I love everything about storytelling. So I want to know other people's story. I want to know who you are, what you do, what makes you tick. Like, I'm that very curious person. So when I'm at a party or I'm in a room, I'm meeting people and going, oh, hi, like, how are you? Tell me about you. Like, I really am genuinely interested in other people's stories.
Right.
And he used to say all the time, I love watching you work. I love sitting back and watching you work a room. He's like, you are just like, and that's what he would do. I never had to worry. I would just go do my thing, and I could just work the room and do my thing and never, ever have to worry. And then there was the other side of him that just was, he was very, I don't know if caring's the right word, for a lack of a better word, caring, but he would, attentive, I think is a good word. Like, he was just attentive. Like, I would get out of the shower and I'd be brushing my hair, and he would stop me and like brush my hair, and like, he was just very sensitive and tender that way. And so all those things equal a fucking disaster if I go to Austin.
So she's talking so wonderfully and tender and softly about this guy, and then all of a sudden, a fucking disaster.
It's going to be a disaster because it's not ever going to amount to anything.
But isn't that okay? I mean, isn't it okay sometimes to go knowing what's going to happen? Totally okay. Oh, you can't detach. I can, and you can't.
I can detach, but from certain people I can't. Not from somebody that I was so, I mean, I've only been really madly, deeply, crazy in love 3 times in my life.
And was he one of them?
Yes.
Yeah. That would
Crazy, madly, deeply, beautifully in love with him. And he's one of the 3 people I've actually been crazy, madly in love with. And so it would be hard for me to detach just from that. Like, randoms, like, I can detach from that all day long. Like, I don't even need to know your name. Like, you know what I mean? There's a difference between,
sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you don't. You wake up and you're like, oh shit, he has a mohawk. But yeah, so
I don't know that story.
You don't know that story? That was when I was like late teens, early 20s.
No, I don't know that story.
Yeah, it was multicolored, and I did not know his name, and
wow.
All I knew was that he was in a band, and something happened after the concert, and I don't know. Okay. Anyway, That was a long time ago, but I mean, I can detach in those situations where you know what it is, and you meet at a bar, and it's, I mean, and I don't have anything against people hooking up. Like, it's fine. Like, we're all adults. We're having a good time. We're okay with that. Yeah. But him, and beyond the part of it being, I think the disaster part of it would be that, I don't know, I don't want to get my hopes up, and I don't want to fall back in love with him. It's been years, and I've been so good. He's asked me to meet him in different places over this last several years, and I've said no every single time. Yeah. And I don't know why I'm feeling a little bit of weakness with this time around. Maybe it's because of the pandemic and the length of time, and my morals and memory are out the window.
I thought it was so funny last night. Well, we thought it was funny.
It was funny, but I'm considering it. Damn it. I don't know.
But if you go in, I mean, I totally understand what you're saying, but could you go knowing the expectation of no expectation? Just go, have a great time. You're going to fly back. I think you go to Nashville after that. He's going to go back to Arkansas. Wow. And I don't know what's in Arkansas, but
he's working there.
Oh, that's right. He's working.
Big job.
So, could you, or would that little meetup like start it all over again, and now you're texting and calling?
And I can lie to myself and be,
I can handle it.
Absolutely. I know what it is. I know the expectation. I know what it is going in. I'm totally fine with it. And I could actually believe that all the way up until the next day.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, damn it, I'm already planning my next trip to Arkansas.
No, you need to find a common ground. Not Arkansas. No.
Oh.
Just keep meeting in Austin.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm busy with work. Like I'm doing all these crazy cool things.
Yes.
So one thing that has happened, I had a really big client for 5 years and decided to, and this is, okay, so this is like a total, okay, we're switching subjects, right?
Okay. We are? Okay.
Can we switch subjects?
Yeah.
Do you mind with that?
Yeah.
And you probably will, you'll agree with, I think you're gonna probably relate to this. You're one of the top 3 people in my life that's gonna get this.
Okay.
I was with this company. I started working with them 8 years ago. Full-time retainer contract because I own my own business. I was never an employee.
Right.
Independent contractor. They brought me on to provide, video services, video and PR. So I've been working with them for 5 years. I used to say all of the time, and I just thought about this recently. I used to say the color of their company, I won't say it, but just because I want to be respectful.
Okay.
But I would say, I bleed
Color.
this company.
Okay, this company.
I bleed this company color. And the whole time I was saying, I bleed this company color. I'm a business owner with my own company, and I wasn't bleeding for my own company. I was bleeding for theirs.
Right.
And I put their company and their company goals above my own out of fear of losing the security of a monthly paycheck. And the fear of losing that security,
yeah, it was your safety net.
Was that safety net was, you've seen how scared, you've seen me so scared to walk away from that, and that the fear of walking away from that kept me from really focusing on my own company and bleeding my own company colors.
Yes.
Until recently. Walking away from that was super scary, and I was having panic attacks, like the worst panic attacks I've ever had in my life, because at my age, suddenly I'm like, okay, well, I only have this much in savings, I only have this much in investments, I'll total those together, that'll get me through this much time.
Right.
What am I going to do? And what am I going to do? And this is a great message for our audience, because the second I made that decision, and I talked to my daughter and my brother about it, you know what they said to me?
What?
You know what the risk is, right? The risk is that you're going to lose them as a client if you send this. And I said, yes, I do know that risk. I'm willing to take that risk. As scary as it is, as hard as it is, as much as I love them, as much as I appreciate everything and the gratitude that I literally live and breathe for everything we've done together and the opportunity they gave me, I'm willing to take that risk. Now, I'm ready to grow. If I'm ready to believe in my own value.
Right.
And I'm ready to believe in what I bring to the table. And I sent it, and I was okay with it. And what's the weird thing is that I was weirdly, strangely okay with it. And when I went to clean out my office, I thought I'd be emotional and crying.
Yeah.
I didn't feel any of that.
Really?
Not one tear, not one sad moment. It was such a relief. And you came over today and you saw my new setup in my place, that I've set up my own little kind of little office-y sort of space with my desk and my stuff. And believe it or not, I was like, I never wanted to do this, but I love it. I love it. And I'm like, why didn't I do this a long time ago?
Well, because you, like you said, it was fear. You were afraid. But, and to put it, they were your stepping stone. They were your first client. You were just starting to do all of this. You had just started Verb. They brought you on board.
Oh my God,
it's okay.
amazing.
I mean, yeah, and they
believed in me before anybody believed in me.
Growing pains, right? But they were your stepping. And now look, I mean, when you shut that door, the doors that have opened for you in like what? 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks. Right? 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah. Amazing.
Like the floodgates have opened. I don't even know how I'm going to keep. Like it's incredible and crazy
and super exciting. I'm super excited for you.
Exciting. So I think that's a really great message. I think I really let fear hold me back for a long time, and I allowed fear to make my decisions in reference to my business for a long time.
But I also think it might have to do a little bit with age, because as we get older, we are thinking retirement, how are we going to do all this? It's like, well, this is safe.
Yes.
I know how much, I know this.
This is what I have coming in. This will pay
I
this
can
will
live
pay
on
this. I can live off this.
And so we're good.
I'm going to have to budget my face off, but
it's manageable.
Yes.
And I mean, to start over, and, a lot of women do in their 50s and 60s, and after retirement, they totally reinvent themselves and do something totally different. And it ends up being a side hustle and bringing them an income.
And a lot of times more than they've ever made in their life, and more happiness and joy than they've ever experienced in their life and their work.
Doing something they absolutely love.
Exactly. And that I am a speechless, flabbergasted, whatever you want to say, about what's happening since I just decided to trust the universe and trust a lot of God, trust the universe, trust God, trust whatever
you believe in.
Whatever you believe in. For me, it's very much trust the universe, trust the energy, trust the law of attraction. I'm a total person that is a giver, that is all about just like providing people value and just love, and like that's who I am at my core. And I just have to believe that is going to be rewarded in some way. I've shown up during the pandemic. Some of my clients couldn't afford to pay me, and I would show up and do stuff for free. I'm getting ready to do something tomorrow that I'm so excited about.
It is exciting.
I'm filming something at Petco Park at the Padre game. I'm the personal videographer for the person who's singing the national anthem. And it's somebody that I knew their dad, and who was a staple in our community here in San Diego, who is singing the national anthem, who is his son, who is in country music, who is in Nashville, who is wanting to, getting ready to make it big and shout out. I'm going to just mention him because I just love him. Nancaro, his name. Graham Nancaro, but his band is Nancaro, and he actually is the official Goddamn Saints, right? Isn't that their new band?
Yes.
Official Goddamn Saints. So check them out.
They play at Belly Up sometime.
They play at Belly Up. He's now officially relocated full-time in Nashville.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he comes back and plays here because this is his hometown.
His dad was
Lauren Nancaro. And so I'm so excited, but this is the kind of thing that for me, I knew he was coming here to do the national anthem, and I just reached out to him on Instagram and said, I would love to do this for you, and I would just love to do this for you. Let's just do this. There's no invoice involved. There's no expectation. There's nothing. I want to show up and I want to do this for you. Do you have somebody to capture you behind the scenes? Like slow motion of you walking through the tunnel out onto the field. I've got the whole thing in my head. I have the story pictured in my brain of him walking out and him singing the national anthem, and just not what's on the Jumbotron, but what I'm capturing, for different angles for him. And then he's doing a interview with the news afterwards, and just B-roll, and then talking about what that experience backstage in the green room at Petco Park, about his experience and how that felt, and what that meant to him. And even before, I want to be with him before he walks down out to the field and talk to him about, how are you feeling? Tell me about your nerves. How excited are you for this? I want to capture it all. Right. And so I get to do that for him tomorrow and pay the gift that everybody else has ever given me and given me a shot. I want to pay that forward and just gift this to him, and just it be a really cool experience for both of us. And I'm super excited. I don't think that would have happened if I didn't break out of the box that I was in,
right,
and start really thinking differently about other opportunities. I wasn't thinking about other opportunities when I was locked in by fear to this.
Right.
So I
agree.
Now I'm starting to think of other opportunities, and I'm available for other opportunities.
That's huge.
Because I was so locked in with them almost full time, almost like an employee, really tied down to them, really in that box, very, very extremely loyal to them, which is my personality in general. But it wasn't until I decided to really break out of that box and be okay breaking out of that box that things started to show up the way that they have. It's been insane, including this. And who knows where this will lead. Like, it's the connect the dots things, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
Yeah, tomorrow's huge.
I'm so pumped. And I'm nervous. Like, technical things happen. Like, I could have a glitch and fuck it up. Like, don't fuck it up, Michelle. Like, in my head, I'm like, already seeing it. Don't fuck it up. Don't forget this setting on your camera. Don't forget this setting. Don't forget this lens. Don't forget that. Oh my God. I'm all ready.
You'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh,
you will be fine. Don't let that.
I'm gonna need another drink.
All that fear start coming in again. Which that's what that is. That's fear.
Yes.
That's your self-doubt.
It's a self-doubt.
Yeah, don't let that seep in. Just keep knocking it over get out of here. I got this.
Okay, yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
Don't let that seep in, because that will take over, and you're awesome at what you do. You're going to have a ball. He is an awesome person. He comes from a great family.
So wonderful.
Yeah, he is. I mean, the whole experience will be phenomenal.
But at our age, and doing what I do, I'm
You're a badass.
Thank you. That's what I
didn't they say that? You were just in Scottsdale.
Okay, so I was just in Scottsdale. Just last minute. So my friend Holly, her husband's they're really good friends with these people. She's like, our friends need somebody in Scottsdale in 3 days to film them. They're guest speakers at this big event. Can you show up? I'm like, I'm there. Book my ticket. So I show up. Didn't know who they were at all. Didn't know what kind of event it was. I just knew that Holly was asking me to show up for her friends, and I trust her, and I'm going to show up. So I show up. I don't know who these people are. Everybody at the events is like, are you kidding me? You showed up to film so-and-so and you didn't even know who they were? They were like the number one people at the event speaking. Like, it was incredible, and they were amazing and fun and lovely and authentic, and like, I had the most ridiculously amazing time. And what made it really special is that they outwardly showed their appreciation for what I do.
Right.
And they were saying things like, you're a badass, you're a gangster. You're a gangster. You're a badass. You're the queen. The head guy at the event was like, you are a videographer extraordinaire. You were everywhere. And I do get that a lot. Like, I get people saying, oh my God, you are everywhere. And it was so, so nice to feel and hear and receive sort of that sort of appreciation and on that level.
Because you didn't get that from the company that you were loyal with for 8 years.
It just, and at the end of one of the events, it ended at 1:00 in the afternoon. We're all heading out to the pool, and I usually would have my camera and be filming everything and conversations by the pool, and why don't you have your camera? These guys said, go put your camera in your room, get your bathing suit on, and come to the pool with us and have a good time and relax because you've earned it.
Nice.
I was like, wait, what?
Did I hear you right?
Wait, what? Put my camera down? What? I mean, it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal, and everything that has happened since has just been. I picked up another gig from there that I did last night, and like, it's just snowballing, like you said last night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a snowball. I mean, you've closed, the door. I mean, and again, they were your stepping stone, but you probably stayed there a little too long out of fear.
Yeah.
And that's okay. We all do that. Everybody does that at some point in their life. And then, because you hear stories all the time. It's like, I walked away. I just thought, I can't do this anymore. I walked away. I didn't have any saving, blah, blah, blah. But they followed their passion, and, now they're multimillionaires or stuff. I mean, there's stories about that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, you
tell me about a time when you stayed in something too long that you should have walked away. You have to have a story. Whether it's a job or relationship.
Probably both.
Because I think a lot of people do this. This is a great message for our audience.
Well, I definitely stayed at that one company way too long. I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't eating, I don't have anxiety, and I had anxiety like you. She was horrible. And I should have left long before I ever did. But I was afraid, how am I going to get another job? But I ended up leaving that job without another job.
At our age,
it was scary
that is.
But I had enough in savings, and I just thought, I've got to do it. And I did quit, but I was able to, they okayed my unemployment. So between unemployment and my savings, I was okay. I knew I had like 6 months, and I just thought my health was worth more than that job.
Yeah.
It was affecting my health horribly.
That's a horribly,
and I was like,
deal.
I can't do this. And I was in my late 50s. I wasn't 60 yet. So, yeah. And was I afraid? I was, but interestingly enough, all my friends supported it. They all said, you got to do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, and for my health, thank goodness. And my next job wasn't my dream job either, but, it's all stepping stones. But yeah, that was the worst job I ever had in my life.
Wow.
Yeah, it was horrible. She was horrible.
And I feel like that's a really good message too, that
you should never stay in a job where your boss is being horrible to you. That's not okay.
And that was never the case. Let's clear up, the
no, your case is totally different.
Oh my God, they were never horrible.
You asked me a question,
but yes,
right?
But I agree with you. And even though they weren't horrible to me, it was still, I was stifled. I was stuck.
Yeah, they held you down.
I held myself down. They didn't. I held myself down because I didn't make the decision. I'm going to be accountable. I'm responsible for that 150%.
Okay, that's good.
I held myself back. Yeah. Not them. And they were great to me. They were great for that 5 years.
But that was your fear. It all comes back to being fearful. And we should never be fearful. We should always take care of ourselves first. Always.
And if it's affecting your health, which this job was too, in the end, it was really affecting my health big time. Not sleeping. When I finally made this decision, or thinking about this decision, I was having the worst panic attacks of my life, the worst anxiety of my life, on the toilet, head between my knees, can't breathe, heart racing, freaking out, panicking, pacing. It was so horrible. It was so bad. What am I going to do? No one's going to want to hire me. I'm in an industry where I'm competing with 20-somethings. You know what I mean?
Those people, they don't have the experience that you have. They may have the age or the energy, but they don't have the experience or the wisdom that you do. And that's what's tough with us at our age group, because we think the youngsters are going to take over, and it's no, but we bring more to the table than they do. And not disrespecting anybody young, go for it. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Going for your job, your career, the house you want, the baby, whatever it is you want, go for it.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
Yeah.
But when you hit a certain age, then you become fearful.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
We shouldn't be fearful.
No. And
we need to have the mentality of a 20-year-old that's like, it's almost that mentality of, nothing will happen to me. It's like, just go for it.
Just go for it.
Yeah. Don't be afraid.
So this is good. So you are just going for it with the stuff that you really want to do. Like, what are you just finally saying, I'm going to go for this? What are you doing?
I'm blogging. My blog. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, your blog.
My blog. So, and getting that in line with also my Instagram and pictures and influencing and just, trying to show people there's fashion at 60, there's fashion at any age, actually.
And there's fun. There's fashion and there's fun.
There's fun. I mean, the
fashion, fun, and fabulousness can happen at 60.
At any age.
Yes,
but
at any age.
That's my niche, is that age group. Okay. Because that's what I am. I mean, a 20-year-old isn't going to relate to me. They're going to tell their mom to watch me, which is good. Right. Happy about that. I can switch you on to somebody that's 20 that you should follow,
Yeah.
But, I get excited. I'm super nervous. I'm scared shitless.
I get it.
I get it. I am scared to death that I'm going to get bullied. And, there's a million things in my head that, and it's like, oh my God, I have to remind myself daily, step out of that. You've got to step out of that. And then the other thing is, you should always do.
What? Like, go back to wait.
You should always do what scares the shit out of you. If it scares you, you should do it.
Okay, right? Say that again.
You should always do what scares the shit out of you. If you're scared shitless, do it.
That is so good.
It is meant that you are to do it.
That is so good.
Well, I don't think I made that. I mean, I think
that's the best message. But no, I haven't heard that.
Oh.
If it scares you, do it. I've heard that. But authentically, you coming out and go, if it scares the shit out of you.
It scares the shit out of me. It does.
Okay.
It's paralyzing at times. But,
and do you feel like even me, like at my age, doing what I do?
I don't even look at your age.
But I think I'm stupid. I feel ridiculous. I feel like here's what happened. My panic attacks. This is all. Excuse me. I live in the city. There's a situation going on. So there's obviously like a big situation going on. Oh, so seriously, in my head, I'm like, who do you think you are? Are you a fucking idiot? You can't do this. You're too old for this. People are going to think you're an idiot.
That's like, how I feel.
I mean, so many things are going on in my head about me being a 50-something-year-old videographer chasing around people that are in their 20s and 30s and 40s.
That's so awesome.
In my head, I'm like,
in your head, you're 20, 30 something.
In my head, in my head, I'm like, who do you think you are? This is ridiculous. You're not going to do this. Like, you're an idiot. Like, those thoughts,
they do
enter my mind. Like, people are going to think you're ridiculous. Like, people are going to laugh at you. Those things happen. Those things enter my mind. That voice seep in. The secret is, and the trick is, how do you shut that up? How do you shut that off and go, no, like, fuck you, no, like, you're wrong? How do you change that internal dialogue and say, you're wrong, I'm a badass, I'm amazing at what I do, I'm a gangster, I'm obsessed, and this is the truth, I'm obsessed with what I get to do. I'm obsessed with it. Like, it keeps me up at night. I can't stop thinking about the stories I get to tell. If I'm gonna get, like, tomorrow, like, I'm not gonna be able to sleep because I have the entire story of what this man is going to get to experience, and being able to capture that in a way that he can show his audience visually what he experiences, what he's experiencing tomorrow. Oh my God, I am so excited. I'm fucking turned on. Like, it is over. Like, I'm not going to sleep. I'm so pumped about it.
So that's where you have to go when this negativity seeps in.
Yeah.
You have to go back to, oh, hell no. I reached out, manager, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Like, you just have to keep, I think it's an inner dialogue, just like the dialogue of, am I too old, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, blah, whatever it is. No, change, it's a mindset, like change your vocabulary.
100%.
Right?
100%,
I mean,
yeah.
Tony Robbins talks about that. It's mindset, like just don't, when that starts happening, start saying the other stuff
Yes.
to yourself. Like, and you have to say it and believe it. And if you say it enough, you will believe it and you manifest it.
You have to trust the universe. You have to trust.
Yeah, you do.
In what you're doing from a real, authentic place of love. Like, everything in me to do what I do is an authentic place of love and genuine love for what I get to do, and appreciation and gratitude for what I get to do. So, I don't know, I need to continue to trust that. And I forget about that sometimes, but I need to remember to come back to that as often as possible, and remember that as often as possible, right?
Yes, and I mean, that's what you bring.
And you too with your stuff.
No, I know, but like a 20-year-old doesn't have all that wisdom of that because they haven't experienced all of that. So, when you say, oh, what am I bringing to the table? You're bringing a lot to the table. And people are things are happening for you.
Yeah.
So.
As you, keep thinking the same thing about what you're doing.
I know. It's
going.
So easy to tell.
Right. You're telling me all this.
It's so easy.
Let me bounce all that back to you. Boom, bounce it all back to you, girl.
I know. And I do have those conversations, and then I'll get in my head, and that's a scary place. You don't live in your head. What does Tony Robbins say? If you're in your head, you're dead.
Ooh, I love that. I love that.
He does. That's one of his sayings, I'm pretty sure. If you're in your head, you're dead.
Oh,
and he's right. If you're in your head, you can't be authentic. You can't be present.
I love
right? Because you're in your head.
Yeah.
You're like,
yep.
Instead of just going for it and just, if you fail, you fail. I mean, that's okay. People,
it's okay.
Talk to any millionaire. They failed a couple times before they got there.
A lot, right?
Yeah, it didn't, we just see the pretty side of, they have all this and all that and they're doing this and that. No, you should have hung out with them 10 years ago when they were going, Tony Robbins will talk about that too.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tony. He was poorer than poor. And he just kept buying all these books and going to these seminars and just bettering himself all the time. So, and staying out of his head.
I love that. So I feel like this is a great segue to kind of end, and I always finish my drink before you.
Well, you're not
always. So it's a great segue because I'm going to put it out in the universe that this is going to happen. The potential is there that I'm going to be in Dallas. And I'm going to be filming in Dallas at an event where Tony Robbins is the speaker coming up in June or July, can't remember. And so I'm going to put it out in the universe that the potential is already there. I've already been asked to go. So we'll just put it out there that, speaking of Tony Robbins, let's cheers to not only Tony Robbins, but staying positive, getting out of our head, stop doubting ourselves, stop the self-limiting beliefs, stop the negative self-talk about how old we are, and go for it and understand and believe in our own value and what we bring to the table. Because what I heard last night at the mastermind that I filmed, somebody said, people trust confidence.
Yeah, you shared that with me. That's good.
So, cheers to confidence, cheers to believing in ourselves, cheers to stop feeling like we're too old for this, like we're not, it's that.
And the thing about being old, we talked about this last night too, was our physical age, like what our birth certificate says how old we are, is not how we feel.
Not at all.
I don't feel that age. I don't act that age. I don't know what that even is supposed to look like.
You definitely don't look that age.
And I don't look
that age.
Right, and neither do you. Like,
no.
we don't fit that. Everything's moving so quickly, and we're all just changing.
No.
I don't feel that age.
Mm-mm.
And you don't, so when you say, oh, I'm too old, I don't look at you like that.
No, I don't feel like that at all.
And neither one of us do.
No.
Which is why we're, I battle with that. It's like, oh yeah, wait, hold on, I am that age. It's like, but I don't feel that age. Which is, I think we shouldn't feel that age.
No.
It's just what our birth certificate says.
Right.
It's our mindset that we feel something else. So.
Oh, I love that so much. Okay, so I'm empty. I need another one. On that note, we're gonna say cheers to believing in ourselves.
Yes.
Cheers to throwing age out the window. Along with memory and morals.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we'll update you on whether or not I end up in Austin or not.
Or if I go to Austin.
Or if she goes to Austin.
If I go to Austin, we all know how this is ending.
Yeah, you and her are going to have brunch the next morning alone about how great the night before was.
For her. Not
and you're
for
going to have
me.
to talk me off the ledge. Like, talk me off the ledge.
That's what
Michelle, it is what it is. Don't fall for him again. Just no. Just, like, take it for what it was. Take it for the moment. Oh, my God.
That's what I'm here for, Dolly.
Okay, love you.
Love you, too.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Hey, oh yeah, if you like our show, if you like what we have to say, just put it in the comments. Comments, like, love, share, hit the love button, subscribe, do all that shit. Just,
follow us on Instagram.
Just follow us. Oh yeah, follow us on Instagram, Dolly and Dalai, double D, in case you haven't picked up on that. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.